Hey guys, what's happening? It's Sean1604 coming at you with my 7th update on our Let's Play with Swansea in Football Manager 2013. I've just upgraded to the new YouTube channel layout, so I thought I'd quickly show this just before we jump in and show through the actual gameplay of Football Manager. So as I say, I'm kind of getting through these Swansea videos now, which is good, and I'm getting a fair amount of views, which I'm also quite happy with. Obviously, as ever, if you do like it, please don't forget to leave a comment and stuff. It does mean a lot to me, and it makes me want to do even more videos. So we'll jump on a Football Manager now, and I'll get the game loaded up, and we'll see what's happened since the last time we spoke. Okay, so we're now on the 1st of February, and I thought I'd quickly show through the January. We've obviously been through the January transfer window. I thought I'd quickly show what happened in that. I didn't have a lot of money to spend, only had about 4.5 million to spend. There were a couple of players I was interested in, a couple of youngsters who I was interested in looking at buying. Unfortunately, one of them failed a medical, and one of them didn't get a work permit. So unfortunately, we didn't pick those two players up, which were actually both, I think, about 4-star, 4.5-star potential for less than £2 million. So I was really quite unhappy about that, to be honest with you. But anyway, the one player we did pick up was Alexandre Renard. I was looking for a young centre back to put into my under 19s team, under 18s team, whatever you want to call it, and this was the guy that came up on my radar. Again, if you look there, 4.5-star potential, he's only 18, he's worth 1.6 million, picked him up for 3, but you can see there's, from we look at his physical stats on the right hand side here, he's already 15 stamina, 14 natural fitness, 14 balance, 14 strength. At an 18-year-old, this guy's going to develop and be coming into a really good player, I believe. So that was the only really one that we brought in. In terms of outgoings, no one really main, they were all loans. If you have a look here, I've loaned a lot of players. A lot of the players and young guys have been getting out onto loans and then coming back. Looking pretty good. So Yao Suarez, who looked like a good player, he came back to after he was on loan. He went back out to Wolves. Robin Budwalda even went to Leicester on loan, and a couple of other guys, Juan Jose Pinto, went to Celta on loan. So a couple of good loans there. Hopefully they'll get some good experience and make them progress even further. I'm going to quickly jump in and look at the squad for you guys. Okay, so the reason I wanted to show you guys the squad is that I want to show where I hope this team is going to be in about, maybe, I would say, 2 to 3 seasons, probably 2 hopefully, if they all develop the way they should be. So you can see there, if you look at the ability column on the left hand side, if we run down just quickly, if I scroll down a little bit, you'll see that I've not really got anyone that's really above sort of 3.5-star potential, 3.5-star ability, sorry, apart from Ashley Williams, who's at 4-star. So you can see there, in terms of the actual current ability of the team, yes, it's not great, but I was building when I came in for the future, and that is what I'm looking to do. So if you look on the right hand side at the potential, if you got the guys here, Mattia Perrin, who's currently playing in the first team, he's currently 4.5-star rated. Servet Akbas, who's a young goalkeeper, is also 4.5-star rated. You've got Michael Waters, who's a young player, Renard, who we just went through, obviously, Ashley Richard, who's still got a bit of potential, even though he was not one of the players I was really looking at going forward. Bruno's Martins Indy, who we brought in on a free from Feyenoord, who I was really happy about getting, and he's just developing even better, and he's currently got 4.5-star potential. Tommy Hoban, who I was, I think, possibly my first signing, can't quite remember, a young centre back from Watford. Commiserations to them, by the way, in the playoff final. I just watched that there. They did really well, but unfortunately they didn't get up to the Premier League, which is unfortunate, but hey ho. So yeah, he's got good potential, and if you run down here, we've got 4-star here, 4-star here, so these guys have still got a little bit of development. That's my wingers and my midfield. I think my midfield is something that I'm going to be trying to get a few young players in to kind of kickstart that going forward. I need a few central midfielders, but if you look at the strikers, I'm absolutely fine on strikers. You've got Tannen, who's started playing quite well, he's 4.5-star. Van Gelderen, who's 4.5-star potential. Suarez, Suarez, I can't say the guy's name, 4.5-star as well. So, and then you've obviously got like Vossen, who's currently playing almost at 4-star. and you've got Tony Watt there who's also 4-star. So you've got a lot of guys in the attack and in the defence. As I said, I'm going to need to try and get a few younger midfielders in. Kemi Augustine's going to be leaving at the end of the season, and he wasn't getting a game, wasn't going to get a game, so he's out. He's been signed on a pre-contract. So a few of the players are going to be leaving, but I need to get some young guys in to start playing in the defensive mid and midfielders. I've got Diakite, who I just brought in, as I said in the last video, just to kind of fill a gap, and Rafidin Abdullah. He's probably my main guy that I'm hoping will develop, but I'm going to need someone else on top of that, because obviously Liam Britton's not going to be around forever. Tom Huddleston's only on loan, so that's something that we will need to try and progress a bit more. So I'm going to come in now and look at the games that we've went through since the last time we spoke. Okay, so I'm not going to do what I've done in previous videos where I run through every single game. I'm just going to show the overview here of where we are and what we've played. And the reason I'm doing that is I'll explain as I'm going through it. So I played, obviously my next game up after the last game, which was the Newcastle one that we won 2-0, was we lost 2-0 away from home in the Carling Cup third round to Tottenham. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because my game crashed. Now, not only did it crash once, it crashed twice, which really annoyed me, as you can probably imagine. I think I'd played these 4 games, and then my game crashed. I got a C++ error, not really sure why, some sort of error in the coding of the game, and that crashed my game. And it also crashed, I believe, after, where was I? I was here, and it crashed after I'd played these games as well. So what I did was I went back in and I went on holiday for those games, so that I didn't try and change the results or anything like that to try and make anything any better, and the results actually came out the same. I lost this game 2-1, but I lost it in extra time, so that was, I lost it anyway, but it was a bit unfortunate that we had to do it that way. We lost to Wigan, but we beat Tottenham, so that kind of makes up for that, and we did lose to Man City, I think 4-0. So overall, in terms of points in the league and in terms of going up out of the Carling Cup, that was all the same. We came up against Chelsea next. We lost 2-0 away from home. Unfortunately, we didn't pick up where we left off last season against Chelsea, where we beat them twice. That's a good result, 1-1 at home to Liverpool. They battered us, to be fair, although we did hold our own. In terms of shots, they did batter us, though. We did okay in possession, but we scored a really late equaliser with Michu getting a goal in the... Michu? I'm struggling with guys' names in this. Miku got his goal in the 91st minute to get us level, which was really good. Next one down, which we'll go into, was a 3-1 good home win against West Brom. Weiss, Vossen and Koch getting on the score sheet there. Koch had a ridiculous game in this one, 9.1 rated. He had a ridiculous game. Don't really know where it came from, to be honest, and he got a goal at the end of it as well, which was pretty good. This was disappointing, a 3-2 loss away from home against Blackburn. They scored first, we equalised, they scored again, we equalised again really quickly, and then we let in a late goal against Jason Lowe. To be fair, it was a really even game, could have went either way, but I'm still a little bit unhappy that we did lose that against Blackburn. It's one of the teams we should be beating. We came up then against Nottingham Forest, beat them 4-0, pretty comfortable. Jelle Vossen getting a hat-trick and Nathan Dyer, so I was really happy with that. It was pretty comfortable, even though the actual stats don't really look like it, but it's a pretty comfortable game. Next one down, we lost 2-1 away from home at West Ham. So what can you say? Two really early goals we let in. It was an uphill mountain from there. 2-0 down within 80 minutes. We did get an early equaliser, but we couldn't. An early goal back, but we couldn't push on and unfortunately get an equaliser. So lost that game. Next one up was away from home against Norwich. We gave this game everything. We were 3-0 down at half time. Really laid into the players, as you can imagine, and we picked it back up in the second half. Michu getting his goal and Pablo Hernandez getting a goal in the 80th minute, but we couldn't again, unfortunately, push on and get an equaliser. So you can see we're getting close to getting games back, but we were on a wee bit of a bad run there, and we picked it back up though against Southampton. We won 2-0. Neil Taylor and Osama. Can't really say the guy's name again. I'll just go for Asaidi because that's easier to say. So we were 2-0 up pretty early on in that game. We held on for a good win. this game, this is where I think about it crashed. So if I remember correctly, we lost to Norwich. We beat Norwich and we lost to Southampton. So again, points wise, it worked out the same. We lost to Arsenal, which we did in the first time I played it, and this was really freaky. We had a 3-3 draw against Man United, and then when I simmed it, exactly the same thing happened, which it just baffles me. And the even stranger thing is that the game pretty much worked out very similar, in terms of where we went 1-0 up, and the other game, you can see here they were up pretty early on and they got up 3-1, and we scored two really late goals, Vossen getting one in the 82nd minute and Donnelly getting one in the 84th. And the first time I played it, I believe Tannen, I can't really, again, say the guy's name, he picked up a goal in like the 89th minute to get us a draw, which I thought we'd lost the game. So it was really freaky how it worked out. I think what I'm thinking happened was we lost to Southampton but we beat Everton, and then that's what switched round, I think. So again, points wise, it worked out the same. Otherwise, I would have simmed it again to try and get the same points so that nothing changed. So hopefully I'm not going to have any more crashes. I'm trying to look into it a wee bit to see what happened, and I'm hoping that it doesn't happen again. I think it's if I put my computer to sleep and I leave Football Manager on, and I've changed how often I save the game from every month to every fortnight, so even if it does crash, I'm not losing out on too many games or anything like that. Next up was a 3-0 home win against Aston Villa, which was really good. We did struggle against them last season, so Ki-Sung getting 2 goals and Tannen getting a goal in the 87th minute, so he's coming on a wee bit. Tannen's playing pretty well. This was my ridiculous result of the season, absolutely appalling result. I say that there was one more after that, which I'll go into in a second. But yeah, Brentford at home, we lost 2-0. Now, I did put out a weakened team, pretty much all, not reserve squad, some of them still first team players like Bartley, Roy Donnelly, Van Gelden, Tannen. To be fair, they all could get in the first team if they played really well, and Michael Vorm obviously is an ex-first team player. So we shouldn't have lost this game, really, and I'm really, really, really unhappy, obviously, that we went out at this stage of the FA Cup, and we're also out the Carling Cup as well. Hopefully it means that we did have a little bit of fixture congestion, so hopefully it means that we can try and push on in the Premier Divisions, and might help us in terms of fitness and stuff. Good away result against Fulham, 1-1. They scored and we managed to pick up a fairly late equaliser against Fulham there with a 1-1 draw. Good result there against Stoke. Really, really happy with that. Away from home, Stoke is the team that we were around about mid-table with us, and we managed to beat them 2-0. So again, really, really happy with that. Tony Watt getting an early goal, and Jelly Vossen also getting on the score sheet. And the last game which I just played before making this video, just at the end of last night, was a very, very disappointing result at home to Watford. We let in a really early goal. They got Johnson Hogg sent off on the 30th minute. We pushed and we pushed and we pushed. 17 shots, only 7 on target, as you can see there. So we did have a lot of shots, but we just couldn't score. And then we let in a late goal when we were obviously trying for the win. So again, laid into the players after that, because we really shouldn't have lost that game. Really, really shouldn't have lost that game. So obviously we'll play now again until the end of the season, and then I'll come back and we'll see where we ended up. As I said in the previous bit there, and I was going through the squad, this is really, I'm looking at focusing on and where we're going to be in probably 2 years. Next season, yeah, they may develop and we may do a little bit better, but really realistically I would say maybe 2 to 3 years before we can really start pushing on maybe to get into Europe. So we've got some decent fixtures coming up: Newcastle, Wigan, then we go back into I seem to be getting spades of getting 3 or 4 games against not so good teams, and then 3 or 4 games against really, really good teams, so it's a wee bit strange. But yeah, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and then West Brom, Blackburn, Nottingham Forest. It's not too bad an end to the season until you get to the last 3 games: Arsenal, Man United and Everton, so it's not really a great end there. So we'd really need to have our job done by about here, to have any chance of making absolute concrete proof that we're going to be in the Premier Division. We're sitting okay in terms of the actual league though. We're sitting in 9th, so we're in the top half, I guess, if you like, of the league. So we're on 29 points, and I think What's changed this season compared to last season is, yeah, we're scoring more goals, but we're letting in more goals. It's because I switched up the training, I think, from a defensive to attacking, which I'm just about to change back and hope that we keep scoring the goals, but we don't let in as many. Our goal difference, to be fair, is a bit better, +2, so I'm quite happy with that. But yeah, we're conceding too many goals, and that's really what's costing us, especially against the bigger teams. So I'm going to need to find a better formation, I think, to play against the bigger boys. But yeah, overall I'm quite happy with that. So you can see here we're about 7 points ahead of relegation. We've got a fair few teams in between us, and our goal difference is much better than a lot of the teams down there. -18 for Southampton, -12 for Everton. So yeah, some pretty ridiculous goal differences there. -20, and then Fulham's only -8. That just crazy. Up top of the league, you've got Tottenham, Chelsea both on 49 points, Man City just behind them on 48, Arsenal 45, and Man United trailing behind on 43 and 5th. So realistically, yeah, we're probably not going to be in Europe next season, but we should be pretty comfortable. If I can get to obviously the 40-point mark and above that, then I'll be really happy, and just to make absolute proof that we're going to be in the Premier League next season. The higher up we finish, though, the more money we get, obviously, so that's realistically what I'm going to be aiming for, so we can go out and get some good players for next season. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Obviously an update, and as I said, I'll be back at the end of the season to show you guys where we finished up, and go through the last fixtures and where we finished up at the end of the season. If you guys are enjoying it, as I said earlier, please don't forget to leave a comment and a like, or even a subscribe. Anything like that really does help me and makes me want to, as I say, do more videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you later. Have a good day. Bye bye.